What's going on, guys and gals? Bonafide Hustler here, coming to you live from the inside of my office, and today we're going to be talking about, here are some profitable items that you can start sourcing from garage sales and maybe estate sales, and definitely places like thrift stores. So I'm going to be showing you some stuff today that I found from garage sales, and I'll be showing you some stuff today that I definitely found from thrift stores. We're going to be looking at some finds that it's Monday today, so I found stuff on Friday, Saturday, maybe a little bit of Sunday as well. So we got some stuff here. Definitely going to show you what's up. If you can hear me clearly, let me know. If it's too close, let me know that too. But yeah, I'm the Bonafide Hustler. I reside in Austin, Texas. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I will show you stuff that I flip on a part-time basis, from garage sales, estate sales, yard sales, flea markets, pawn shops, swap meets, thrift stores, big box stores, and I put it on places like eBay, Amazon, Craigslist, my antique booth, and consignment stores in town. So that's who I am. I'm also a co-owner of thegreenroomuniversity.com. Go check it out. It's the second link down below, and we'll get right to the program. So cool. I guess I look and sound good. Thank you, Lonnie. Yes. And for anyone that's wondering, like, why is your name like have the space on it and all that kind of stuff? It's because, like, with ad revenue and stuff, like, I think the hustler term is getting picked up as, like, not derogatory, but just something where advertisers, not advertiser friendly. So I'm doing some experiments right now with my name and the last name in YouTube, and that's why you see Hustler. You might see H.U.STLER, whatever. I might do that as my next one. I'm just running some experiments. So if you see Bonafide H Hustler, whatever, that's me. Okay, so let's talk about some quick finds that I found Friday. Let's do this real quick. I don't think this is gonna take too long on this part. Yeah. And yes, okay, so hopefully we are all here. We want to see some of these finds. All right, so the very first find, this is an RMAV 3100 remote. I have sold, this has probably been my fourth one I've ever sent into Amazon. And I've sold about 2 on eBay as well. These are just basically remote commander devices with a little touchscreen kind of thing. But back in the day, this is like 15 years ago, technology with a backlit green screen. We can take a look what the RMAV 3100 looks like on Amazon right now. Give me 1 second, because I hadn't looked at it since Friday, right? So anytime that you see this kind of stuff in the thrift store, it's pretty easy to test out. Like, you can put the batteries in there and everything like that, and you can test this stuff. It's infrared, right? So you can switch your phone to video mode or picture mode, and you can start pressing buttons, and you can see this thing light up like that. You don't have to have necessarily a Sony device to test it. So anyway, so this RMAV 3100 is the RM. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. AV 3100. Should just default to Sony. Here it is right here. The crazy part is if you have this thing new, right, you would get about $173 in a check. Actually, you get more than that because there's no FBA offers right now. So $6,660 in electronics. I could sell it in new condition. I can sell it in all the other conditions as well. But essentially on used, we're looking at about $22 check cut out from Amazon. There's only one FBA offer, so I could probably go above that one, hold out a little bit, because 6,000 rank or almost 7,000 rank in electronics is not bad at all. It's actually pretty good. So yeah, basically going to test this thing out. I bought it for $3. We can see the tag right there, and yeah, you can just see there's like 17 bucks probably coming my way because of that, in pure profit, right? Also picked up this. I think this was $10 and pure profit. This was just something that was sealed at the thrift store, right? Who cares what it is if it's sealed and it has a decent brand behind it? Why not? So especially with a UPC code, all you gotta do is just scan it. Takes 2 seconds. This one right here, I believe, was 10 bucks. This is going to yield about $19 in a check. So I'll get 9 bucks pure profit out of that. That's pretty good. $9 is basically, it's close. We're looking at an ROI about 80%. The link of that, the rating of that one is 27 in PC, right? 27 in PC. It's sitting right there. All right, not bad. 27 in PC, I would go for 30% ROI. I would go for 30, 50, 80% ROI all day with 27 rank in PC. So that's that. I did pay up a little bit for this next item right here. I think I paid, hopefully the price is still on this thing. So I have these suede, really nice Larry Mahans boots. These are women's. I did use a 20% off coupon on this, so I was paid 20 bucks out the door. So we can see right there, $24.99. This is Savers. They smell a little smoky, but it's not a huge deal. But I really believe I can get about $100 for these. So that's the reason why I got into them, because when it comes to like purple and suede and layered my hands and really interesting looking boots like this, like there's just not a huge, how do I say, there's not like a really big supply of this stuff, which is cool because women still definitely want to rock a really neat pair of boots like this. It's a good size too. I think it's like a 7.5 or 8, so it's a great size. I want to say it's narrow though, so it's a B and M. Never mind, that's just regular. So it's not too bad, but it's a size 7, so really good size. And the suede's in really good condition. So I decided to pop on them. I'm going to be asking about $100 for these things. Got into them for $20 from a Savers. Right? Yes, go hit the like button, peeps. I haven't asked yet, but some people are beating me to the punch on that one. Okay, so I went to garage sales on Saturday, and here's some of the finds that I found from garage sales. One of them, and there's a tag already for my antique booth sitting right there. Already, you know, I'm getting ahead of the game here, right? But this is an Izod Lacoste, kind of like a members only type jacket. It's just a really light jacket. So like that, it's really nerdy looking. But yeah, it's a genuine, you know, actual product, Izod Lacoste right there. So it looks pretty good. I paid $2 for this. After the sale in my booth and everything like that, I think I'll be getting about like $30 out of this one, maybe 28, something like that. So you can kind of see how my mind is thinking about it. Taking $2, converting it into 28, it's pretty good right there. So it's kind of like a members only jacket, very similar, but I would classify this as a light jacket. And jackets are coming in, so you know, I've been selling a lot of Pearl Snap shirts. Jackets are going to be basically the next thing that's gonna, as soon as it starts turning cold here in Austin, Texas, the jackets are gonna just start going. So definitely got into that. I got into a couple personal things, which I'll show you from garage sales right here. One is a Wakeboard Tow Rope, right? Not even the rope, just the handle. So it's a straight line handle right here. Might use it on the boat, you know, and it has also like another sub handle right here, which I think is called a wrap handle. Maybe I'm mistaken, but anyway. So I might be using this for the boat, or I might use it in the cul-de-sac. Never know. I might get a little, you know, like scooter kind of thing and tow people behind it. Kind of fun. You know, living in a cul-de-sac it's like its own different world, right? Just like really not many people come down the street, and so you can do a lot of really dumb things on the street. So anyway, there's that. This one is apparently a clear Apple TV, meaning like it doesn't have someone's email account tied to it or anything like that. It's been completely wiped. So this is an Apple TV with a remote, with the HDMI cord, with the plug. And I thought this was a pretty good deal. I mean, I could resell it for, you know, probably $40 to $50, but I'm also thinking about putting a suspended TV in my garage gym and being able to beam something maybe directly from my phone to the TV is pretty important. So I would need something like this, I believe, or maybe a Fire Stick. Maybe you guys can help me out there. But essentially, I want to just beam YouTube videos or Netflix to the TV. I think with having an iPhone and using this thing, I should be able to do it, but maybe I'm wrong. So I decided to get into that. I paid like 8 for it. It says 10, but I paid 8. So just so you know. Okay, another find from a Savers, I want to say, or maybe a Goodwill. I can't remember on this one. So I know I paid $10 for it. Listed them today somewhere in the vicinity of like 140, 160. These are Resell, right? We've all heard of this brand for roller skates, Resell, or Resell, however you want to say it. But these are Resell endorsed with Red Wings, right? From Massachusetts, I want to say, or Minnesota. Sorry, Red Wing, Minnesota. And these are vintage, you know, or retro skating shoes, all leather, you know, with Proline Renali wheels in great condition. Most important thing when you're doing these listings on eBay is to really try to find and sell similar, especially based on things like this. So black Resell, full leather, you know, it has sure grip plates. The plates are really awesome. They're not Chicago or anything, but they're sure grip plates. I mean, extremely tough. I mean, these things weigh a pretty good amount. Anyways, the front brake stop looks like it's in impeccable condition, and the wheels still roll really nicely. There's not an excessive amount of rust anywhere. I would expect these to sell relatively soon, you know, somewhere around $100 or so. So anyways, I'm aiming high right now because I don't have much money wrapped into them, but I have 2 of these. Well, you know, obviously there's a pair. But I thought it was a pretty good hustle. You know, anytime I see stuff like this with Chicago plates on the bottom or Sure Grip plates on the bottom, I get really excited. And as long as the thrift store is not taxing, meaning charging a lot of money, like I'm probably going to be picking it up. So that's a pretty good thing to start looking out for right there. So yeah, oh, here's the other one, guys, just so you don't think that I'm like messing with you guys. We also have this. This was at a garage sale, I think, for like $3, right? This is just a LCD wall mount for, I guess, a TV of some sort. Holds 15 and 17-inch panels, so probably for computer screen. So, you know, let me look at this one again. I spent $2 on it. And, you know, that's all you have to do. You just basically scan it at the garage sale. This one right here is going to yield $11.43. Not bad. I'll take it all day. 1,314 in PC with a 5-star rating. That's good. So, you know, that's definitely going off to FBA. Even has the original price tag on it, which is $35. But nowadays you can get it for $18.52 on Amazon. So decided to get into that from a garage sale. When I was at a garage sale, it's very important to pick up things for yourself too that you think you might be using, right? So we're going to go on a camping trip soon, and I don't want you guys to freak out or anything, but I'm going to show you something that we'll probably be using on the camping trip. We're going to a place called Muleshoe, which is an hour away from Austin. It's pretty remote, you know, definitely a dark sky and all that kind of stuff. There's no city lights out there. But we have one of the camping sites that's like way at the other end of the park, like, you know, away from all the other camping sites. It's a really big one. So at that camping site, we have, you know, 30 yards to a water spout, but there's no bathrooms around there. So at a garage sale, I was like, damn, I think we're going to need this thing. So we have a luggable loo. Hopefully you guys know what this is, but essentially if you don't know what it is, you take a 5-gallon bucket, see that bottom picture, you put it on top, and you do your business in this thing. Yes, not in it. I guess you're gently resting on top of it, and the business goes in the 5-gallon bucket. But that's what this is. It's a luggable loo. In fact, let's go take a look what it sells like on Amazon. Let's say I didn't need this thing for camping, right? Like what would it, you know, give me on Amazon? Okay, so the luggable loo has 4.5 stars at 493 ratings, meaning there's 493 people that really think this is a good product. 613 ranking outdoors. That's good. I could sell it in new condition. It's $12.99 on Amazon. I spent $5 at a garage sale. It's brand new, allegedly brand new, yielding $6.73 on a check. So that's not bad, you know. But that just goes to my point. Like, you know, be aware of the things that you want to buy in the immediate future and kind of distant future, and go to garage sales and stuff like that and see if you can find it for cheaper first. Because I know I would have spent, you know, $12.99 on Amazon to get this thing, but thank God we just found one. Now we have a toilet seat for my 5-gallon bucket. So anyways, there's that. You know, for my personal use, I'm going to show you 3 DVDs that I was like, oh, you know, like $2 for all 3 of these. One of them is a Blu-ray. I just want to see this movie again. I don't see it on Amazon Prime, and I don't see it on Netflix. I don't have Hulu or anything like that. And yeah, I probably could torrent this thing, but I could risk getting, you know, how do I say it? Like weird stuff on my computer. So I don't want to do that. There's a DVD here that I really want to watch again. Like I've seen it once and I really liked it. I want to see it again. So it's called Ender's Game. I really like this movie. So decided to get into that at the garage sale. This is a sleeper of a movie. It's really weird. Not really weird, but it's a sleeper of a movie with some pretty good jump scares, right? This one right here, What Lies Beneath. If you've ever seen this movie, it's an old Harrison Ford movie. This is from back like 90-something. Let me think here. Or 2002, sorry. 2002 DreamWorks picture. This movie is interesting. Very, very, very interesting. I like this one a lot. Has Harrison Ford in there. Along the same time that this movie was produced, there was one with Kevin Costner that got like 0 press, and I don't even think it did that well, but it was called Dragonfly, and I really liked that movie a lot too. So weird, but like I liked it a lot. So it was about the same exact time this came out. If you ever get a chance to watch Dragonfly or this movie, What Lies Beneath, this is a really good movie. I like it a lot. And then, of course, let's take it back to the 80s. I want to say this is 82. We got to have this. And I saw this in the garage sale DVD. Anytime I see a DVD pile at a garage sale, I'm looking through it. Not so much for new stuff. Well, I do look for new stuff for FBA. But for myself, I'm looking for certain movies that they're just really hard to find out there on Netflix and stuff like that. So I decided to get into this 1982 movie that I haven't seen in a while. And it's called Poltergeist. I love this movie. So I thought it was going to be really good to see it again. It's on DVD. And yeah, look at it. I mean, come on. Do we not know what this scene's all about right here? Come on. That scene is legendary right there. So anyways, I got into those 3 movies. I had to see them again. So I got them for cheap. Okay, so I also got into these things, and these are going to be going into my antique booth. But I got into some more growlers. I think on the last video a week ago, I showed you a growler that I picked up for my house as a decoration. But these are some really cool growlers with some aluminum or steel kind of handles right here, and a really nice vacuum kind of top. I guess it's not vacuum, but you know, it basically seals off the entire top. They're marked at $2 a piece. I believe I paid $2 a piece for these. Like, I didn't even haggle with it. I thought it was a really good deal. I'm going to be putting each one of these in my booth for 26 to about 30 bucks. I think they're in great condition, honestly, and they are 64 ounces too. So that's good. You know, 64 ounces, you know, you can get a lot of people happy with a 64 ounce growler. So got 3 of those. Thought that was a pretty solid pickup. E-Money, my brother, popped on a bunch of garage sale stuff, but he didn't take this one home. So I have it in my possession, but I got to give it back to him. But we got some Beanie Babies. Now, I know a lot of people are kind of like, oh, Beanie Babies is kind of like the Black Diamond, you know, how do I say it? The Black Diamond VHS tapes that are Disney ones, you know. These probably had their heyday, right? But there's some interesting ones in there. And of course, there's this last one. There's a purple one on the very back, which I think is the Princess Di one, right? Which is one of the more collectible ones. So my brother was, I think, offered like 100 or 50 bucks or something like that for a Princess Di one that he has in his possession right now that he got from a garage sale for like $2. And here again, we have another Princess Di one, the purple bear. I believe that's what it is, sitting right there. Yeah, I don't know why he didn't take that offer, but he's like, man, I kind of wish I did. And that offer hasn't come around again. So I think his Beanie Baby is still for sale, but you know, maybe not all Beanie Babies are trash. I have no idea, right? I'm just showing you what my brother picked up. And yeah, so Beanie Babies, there you go. Don't pick them up, but for the most part, see which ones are kind of valuable and see if you can hone in on those. My brother has studied the Princess Di one for a pretty long time, and he kind of knows the market, and he's like, all right, like, I think he's owned like 3 of them, if I'm not mistaken, 3. So this will be his 3rd one. Okay, so I also made a video last week called an opportunity that you might not know about. And that opportunity talked about the REI garage sale. So this past Saturday, REIs, a lot of REIs around the country had garage sales. And when I say REI, you're like, what the hell what are you saying? REI, recreational, what is it? RER, recreational something outdoors? I don't know. REI, Recreational Equipment Incorporated. That's what it is. Sorry. Recreational Equipment Incorporated. I think that's what it stands for. I went there to the garage sale. There were like a lot of people in line waiting. I was not one of the first batch, but I got in, and I got in good, and I made my purchases, and I was like, I thought them through, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to get into these things. So I'm going to show you these purchases that I found at the REI garage sale as I was sifting through tons of merchandise with at least 100 or more people around me shopping at the same exact time. So these are the things that I popped on. For personal use, I popped on this drink tank keg tap. Okay, so this is a keg cap. If you don't know what a drink tank is, it's a really big growler. I think it started on Kickstarter back in the day, and then the company just did really well. Now they do. If you can think about those Yeti tumbler-looking things, well, the success of those Yeti tumblers has just gone far and wide, and people are etching them, and you know, companies are putting like certain engravings on them and stuff, and so they're selling really well, and they're making different colors of them. Well, Drink Tanks is a company that makes growlers that are really cool. They're kind of like those the glass growlers I showed you, except they're made out of double wall aluminum, if I'm not mistaken. So they keep liquids extremely hot or extremely cold, depending on what you want to do with it. And they have really interesting like pull tops that keep it really nice and sealed. So they make them in various sizes, but the 2 most notable sizes, I think, are 64 and 128 ounces. The 128 is very, very large. And there's a 64 ounce, which is manageable, right? But either way, you can convert your growler into a mini keg if you have this thing right here, which is called a keg cap. And inside the keg cap, it's like CO2 cartridges plus this like keg assembly looking thing that goes right on top of the growler itself. You can kind of see it right there. So basically what you do is you put pressure in there, and you can kind of see right here what it looks like. But you put, here's the keg spout. You put pressure into the unit, that pressure, of course, sends the fluid through the pipe, and as soon as you pull the trigger, the pressure puts the fluid through the system, right? And it looks like a mini keg. So it's interesting. It's a very interesting thing. It started off as a Kickstarter project, did very well, and now if you go to many breweries across the USA, you might see some drink tanks in there, which they come in various amount of colors and all this stuff, and they kind of look like that. In fact, you can kind of see what a drink tank kind of looks like. So this piece right here is $45, like new. Like you can go into REI or any place. This would be $45 on eBay. It'd be $45. But I picked this one up for $10.83 because I want to use it for my drink tank when I finally get one. So personal purchase, and I did outline it in my video that if you go to the REI garage sale, it's really good to hustle there, yes, but it's really good to find really good personal stuff there as well. At least you're not spending full price buying this stuff in the open market. And that's the whole key of living a frugal, thrifty lifestyle, is to be cognizant of certain things that you want to buy. And I've been wanting a drink tank for like at least 3 months, but that plus this keg cap was going to run me about $150. And I'm like, you know what? Now I found the keg cap for $10. I'm going to try to find the drink tank if I can for like $60 and see if I can find both things for half the amount I was going to spend the money on, All right, so I'm going to show you some other things that are personal that I bought there. And these are interesting too because they got resale attached to them as well. Mountain biking shorts, right? I bought 3 pairs of mountain biking shorts. This is a Zoic right here. It's a great brand. If you're going to deal with mountain biking shorts, Zoic is really good. Louis Garneau has some really good enduro shorts. Dakine, D-A-K-I-N-E. And there's also another brand called Fox. Fox makes some really good ones too. And if we want to go one step further, there's another brand called Endura, E-N-D-U-R-A. And that one's a really good one as well. So here's some Zoics right here. The REI tag says that it's an ether camo. The last reported price at REI was $66.93. These were returned. They were used because the stitching is coming out. The stitching isn't really coming out. The stitching is just, it's not coming out, that's for sure. But it's under here, like in the crotch area. I put them on. It's pretty cool. I might get the seamstress down the street to like reinforce it for maybe like $5, a couple little stitches through here. But the stitching is not coming out. It's just raised. I don't know if you can see that, but you can kind of see right here. The stitching is just kind of coming up. So good condition. They feel like Lululemon shorts. They feel great. Camo style, lots of breathability, tons of pockets. But yeah, $12, like $12.83 is what I paid for this. And I thought that was a really good deal. But it's only going to get better because, of course, I had to get another pair in a different color. And so here's another pair with the actual liners and everything like that, $12.83. These are mountain biking shorts. I'm showing you this because if you were to find them at Goodwill, they're probably going to be $5 to $10. And you might be thinking there's no money to be made on Zoic, mountain biking shorts, which is wrong because you could probably flip them for like $40 as long as the color is pretty good, or it's a black or this or that camo color. Like if the color is pretty good, you probably get $40, $50 out of those pretty quickly. So it's not uncommon for mountain biking shorts also to just be standard, like in the $80 range all the way up to about $170. So $80 will get you a Fox Sargent, Zoic Ether, things like that. There's also one that Fox makes called a Ranger. It'll get you that one. And then the top end of the spectrum, there's brands like this one, Troy Lee Designs. Troy Lee Designs mountain biking shorts are typically always going to be $100 or more. So here's a pair of, I think it's a Fox Sargent. I picked this one up at the REI garage sale for $26. You might be thinking, damn, you're paying a lot for a pair of shorts. But you got to understand that a Sargent short is also in that $80 price range or above. And these are nice. They are very, they're kind of baggy, but they're very stretchy material, right? When you're riding, you don't want material that's very, that won't stretch basically. And they're very wide right here. So you can pass them over pads and knee pads and things when you go downhill. So extremely versatile types of shorts right here. $26, saved myself a lot of money just by going and buying those. And yeah, they were probably used once or twice, but who cares? Like that's what the REI garage sale is all about. Yes, this is a Troy Lee Designs. This is one of the things that I've been looking around for a lot. on more of these riding jerseys. I'm about to ride like directly after this call. I mean, not this call, but this show. But yeah, this is a Troy Lee Designs shirt. This is an extra large. It fits really, really, really good. Like, I mean, you can just see it, and it feels good. It's a nice heavy material, so it doesn't bunch up anywhere. It doesn't get any weird wrinkles or anything like that. Plus, the bottom is like scooped, which is like even more cool. But these are very, very hard to find at thrift stores. So a lot of times when I buy these things, like I am buying bike off of like bike racks or bike sales, like in a store. Like I go to the bike racks all the time, or the sales rack, and I take a look to see if there's any jerseys for sale. And I'll get into a jersey for between 20 and 40 bucks because it's super hard to find these, which are not to be confused with cycling jerseys, because that's more like road cycling oriented. These are strictly mountain biking, like enduro type stuff. So yeah, there's really nothing to it, but it's a really nice shirt that is made just really, really well. I mean, you can't, the quality of this shirt is just awesome. So anyways, thought that was pretty cool. Good pickups right there. I did buy a couple of other things from the REI garage sale. Let me show you one of the things right here. I got into these for 30 bucks. These are 32 women's bindings with a BOA lacing, meaning, see if there's a picture of this thing right there. All right, so instead of opening, well, I guess I could open it up, show it to you guys. So we have some snowboard boots, which are cool. Wasn't able to get the X mark out because the REI garage sales always have an X mark, right? You can kind of see it right there. But these are 32 BOA, I think 2014 snowboard boots. I got into them for 30 bucks. Anything really BOA is going to be selling for in about a couple of months, it's going to be 80 bucks or above. BOA is basically a system that is, instead of like lacing your boots or anything like that, essentially you can get into your boot like this, you pull these little BOA things out, and then you slide into the boot, right? The whole boot becomes loose, and then as soon as you're ready to like cinch it all down, you press this part down, and then you rotate it like that. And now the boot and the wires, it just rotates the wires shut. And so you can do that with the side ones right there. And now the boot, you just basically twist it to your perfect desired tightness, and off you go snowboarding down a mountain. So yeah, you know, you might be thinking like, dang, like you spent 33 bucks with tax on that. That's kind of crazy. But you know, like in about a couple months, or maybe even in 1 month, I believe they could probably sell between 80 and 100 bucks. So that's why I got into them. Plus they have a box like directly coming with them, which is good because all I'm gonna do is put the label on the box and off it goes, you know? So the regular price for this boot was $249.99, and then last reported price in REI was $149.93, I think is what it was. And then someone special ordered it to a store, used it one time. They tried to sell it in the store for 60 bucks, but of course this is Austin, Texas, and there's no ski resorts next to here. So it ends up at an REI garage sale for 30, and that's where I come in and I swoop it up, right? Pretty cool. Okay, so the last find that I got is here. I got a Cannondale full carbon fiber mountain bike, pretty awesome, with a XT rear clutch derailleur. Like yeah, full carbon fiber mountain bike. I think if everything goes right, I might be able to get 1,600 or 1,800 local pickup off of eBay. So that's what I'm going to probably be shooting for. I did spend $1,080 on this thing. So you know, it's pretty good. I know I can get 1,080 back all day long. And it was a good opportunity also to attempt to get some credit card points as well, because, you know, $1,000 here or there, whatever, on a credit card is actually a really good thing, because, you know, you can get some really cool points out of it. And especially me using my Southwest Visa, I want to get some cool free trips this year. So this is a perfect way to start getting that accomplished, or continue getting that accomplished. Yeah, $1,000 bike right there. You might be thinking like $1,000, that's a lot for a bike. I'm gonna be really honest with you. When it comes to mountain biking, $1,000 is not really that much at all, actually. Most decent bikes, after they're fully upgraded and, you know, people want them, it depends on who the rider is, right? But someone like me, for example, or my wife or whatever, like, it's not uncommon to have a bike that's somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000 to be riding out on the trails. Like, that's just mountain biking for you. Like, it's a semi-expensive sport, but as you progress and get better and better and better, it's like you usually have to upgrade your stuff, you know. So this is a race bike, a full-blown like Cannondale race bike. I mean, you could literally just go on, enter a race with this thing. It's extremely light, probably weighs like 24 pounds or so, and it's pretty nice. You know, it's got really awesome components. It has a lefty front fork. I thought it was a really good thing to pop on. You know, $1,080. We'll see if I can do 1,600 or 1,800 on eBay. I'm going to attempt to do a local pickup as well, so that should be pretty cool. And we'll see where that takes me, right? So that's pretty much, I believe, the finds that I got this past weekend. I know there's more stuff. Let me see here. Is there anything else? I mean, I put some stuff in the green room too, but that's mostly green room stuff. Found some cool stuff at Target on Friday, but I really can't show that because that's more retail arbitrage based. But anyways, I'll leave it open to about 10 minutes of Q&A. Ask me any questions that you want, and let's get those things answered. Dub V says, hey, you're going to bring back the mullet. Definitely growing out my hair a lot. So a lot of hats and stuff like that. Let's see. Superman 847 says, I love these pickup videos. Bonafide, don't ever stop. It's fun to hunt. Nate Berg says, I just found some Mazzolo boots today. That's awesome. Thriller Gorilla Picker says, what's up, Chris? Good to see you. Look like you had some fun over the weekend. Yeah, I had a pretty good weekend, you know. Did a lot of mountain biking. It was a lot of fun. And definitely went to the REI garage sale stuff. You know, had fire with my neighbors and my brother outside yesterday. We built a little bonfire, so that was cool. But yeah, let me know some questions that you got going on. Adrian Molina says, who is on your next thrift battle? So the next thrift battle is going to be Thursday at around 7 p.m. Central Time. We're going to have Rockstar Flipper Casey battling Eric, the college picker. It's going to be an awesome show. You do not want to miss it. It should have been on Wednesday, but Casey had some planned mishap kind of thing going on, so we rescheduled to Thursday. I think it's going to be a crazy show. I believe Casey's going to win. I do. That's my bet, that Casey's going to win, but don't ever underestimate Eric, the college picker. This dude can really, really pick up some cool stuff if he's like forced to, or maybe he has to look for it in his house. This dude could really wreck some damage. So I don't know who's going to win. If I had to bet, I would think it would be Casey, but I don't know. Eric, I've hustled with Eric many times, and his knowledge completely astonishes me a lot of times. So we'll see. It's going to be a good show. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be on my channel, 7 p.m. On Thursday. Deathpile says, what would be your holy grail item to find? I don't get this question very much, and maybe I should make a show about this because it's cool to talk about some of these holy grail items that you want to find. We have to define what a holy grail item is, right? Is a holy grail item something that you can sell for a lot of money, or is a holy grail item something that you inherently really want to find but you want to keep, right? Because to me, when I think of holy grails, I'm thinking of something that's personal holy grail. That's just me. But a lot of people think like holy grails like, oh my God, like a Snow Brothers NES cartridge, or a Nintendo NWC, black cartridge, or original NES cart that should have been disposed back in the day, but it wasn't, and here it is now, and that's a holy grail kind of item. Depends on what you think a holy grail should be. Like when I go to garage sales, I mean, holy grail items, you could argue that a leather polo bag that's super rare is a holy grail item, like, and I found one of those last week, but I'm not like super pumped up about it. I like it, and I'll make good money from it, that's for sure, but it doesn't excite me, I'm excited, but like it doesn't to the core excite me. So Adrian Molina says, I think all holy grails should be keepers. So like that's the way I kind of think. And when I think of a holy grail item, like what comes to mind, at least for me, would be some of the things that I probably never had in my childhood. So one that completely comes to my mind would be a 9.6V Bandit, Tyco Turbo 9.6V Bandit. It's a truck. If you know about late 80s or early 90s, like you probably know about this thing. But anyway, those are going for about $200 to $400 in eBay in good condition. I never was able to afford one back in the day, so if I find one at a garage sale with a controller, I'd more than likely keep it. To me, that's a holy grail item for myself. Another holy grail item that I really want to find out there, I have a lot of good things. That's the thing. I should be very thankful for what I got. I do have a lot of nice things, but there's some simple things that I never got when I was a child that I'm like, to this day, I'm like, oh, like I still want it, you know? And even if it was to stand, you know, end up on a shelf somewhere, like it's okay. Like as long as I can see it and be like, all right, cool, like I have one. I think that's like the big thing to me. Um, yeah, that's like the big one that I think about is a Holy Grail item. That's the one. Um, yeah, Adja Molina says, I think of toys I didn't get as a kid. It's just what it is. So Bobby Moons, what did I do with the tuna? The tuna actually sold in the booth already. It's gone. So yeah, the tuna is gone. What did I get for it? I think I ended up selling it for, the check that I got for it, what did I do? I think the first thing that comes to my mind is $93. So for some reason, so I think I'd sold, and with after the fees and everything, I got 93 bucks out of it, I believe. Adja Molina says, Rockstar Flipper has a crazy amount of inventory. Are there any rules to which item are used for the battle? The rules are out there. They get sent to the contestant a week before the battle. So one of the rules is that you can't just put the same thing over and over and over, meaning like you got 5 chances. You know, if there's 5 rounds, you present 5 items, but those 5 items have to be different. They can't just be, you know, banger video game after banger video game. Like then it would be really hard for the other person to win. So they have to be inherently different things. So yeah, we'll see what he comes up with. I know he's a big clothing reseller. He does video games, cell phones, like whatever, calculators. We'll see what he can muster up. I know Eric is definitely a very diverse like reseller as is myself. And so, you know, I tried to bring the heat to the table last week and I didn't win, but I lost by a point. So, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a way for you guys to you know, but it's a way for you guys to get educated, have fun, pass by some time, and you know, be interactive with us. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's a really, really good show. So James Ron says, Bonafide, you should start an Instagram account. I probably should. I got a lot of things going on right now, like a ton. But I have an Instagram, but it's for my workout channel and my active lifestyle kind of stuff. So you can find that at Boddam, BODDAMN. Bobby Moon says, priceless items are priceless based on personal preference. Yeah, that just depends. Like priceless is, it could be 2 things. Like for you, priceless could be something that you'll never part with, and priceless to someone else could just be like, it's something so rare that you can dictate the price. Like you are the market, right? So there's like no price, priceless, like 0 price. So it just depends on how you kind of perceive it. For me, a priceless item would be something I probably wouldn't part with personally. So that's just me. Okay. Happy Thought says, later, guys, I wish he wasn't so long-winded. Damn headaches. Okay, sorry, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Like, I try to answer some questions at the end of the show. If it's too long-winded for you, see ya. Okay, so Hugh G says, besides Taco Deli, what other food places do I enjoy? It will be nice to see during garage sales ride-alongs and new places that I eat and your score if they are a good deal. Look, most of my scores on a weekend are usually a good deal. Like I try not to get ahead of myself or get a bad deal out of something, right? But I love Taco Deli, right? If you go to Austin, Texas, Taco Deli is really, really good. So I've had a lot of other taco places in town, so I don't want people to think like, oh, he never goes anywhere else. Like I do go other places, right? But when it comes down to a garage sale day, it's almost like it follows a certain kind of like you prep real hard, you wake up early, you bang it out real bad for like, you know, 3 hours or so, and then we end up at Taco Deli, which is just where a lot of our friends are. Like when we know a lot of people that work there, and it's close to the antique booth, it's close to the post office. It's in the middle of like a really good neighborhood that we sometimes finish our garage selling at in that neighborhood. So that's the reason why we go there. We like it a lot, and it tastes really good, and it's all, you know, built right there, not from scratch, but like, you know, it's assembled there for the most part. And yeah, it's a local joint too, so you're supporting a local business. So everything kind of lines up. But I probably go to Taco Deli once or twice a week only. Everything else, like, you know, I either make my own food or I might go out to Whole Foods or something like I did yesterday. And that's where I like to eat. So, um, Tom Sawyer, yeah, I really can't put a price on putting yourself in the third person, looking down on everything and laughing, huh? I don't know if I quite follow that one. James Ron says, I just followed you on Instagram. Awesome. Ruth Field, this is an interesting question that I don't know quite the answer to, and a lot of people, I don't know if there's an actual definite way you would know how to get into this thing, but what is the buy box price versus the price they're showing for new and used? I can't answer that because I get the buy box every now and then. I don't know the methodology behind it or whatsoever. I wish I knew it, but I don't think anybody truly does know it. Like there's some speculation. It's almost like the eBay algorithm. Like there's some speculation as to how you can win the buy box, but like I don't know if there's an actual formula on how to do it, and it's definite. So I don't know. Andrew Molina, maybe you can work an endorsement deal with Taco Deli to sponsor the ride-alongs. Never know. I do know one of the managers at the store that I mainly go to, and you know, he's on top of his stuff. We talk about his business a lot and all this kind of stuff. You know, maybe I can. I don't know. Like I just love going there. It's good. You know, it's one of those places you can reflect on how the hustling day was, get around some good food, and yeah, start the weekend. For me, it doesn't feel like the weekend truly starts until I'm done with garage sales for some reason. So Nathan Hodges, where do you get free boxes for shipping? Okay, so my wife works for medical device sales, so I get a lot of boxes through that. She orders a crap ton of things from Amazon Prime, so obviously you get boxes there. I have an eBay store at $60 a month, and there's a credit every single quarter or whatever, $30 to $50, something like that. You can get boxes through there. If you don't, you know, have any of that stuff, or Costco, like there's a Costco, you can get boxes there as well. Every time I go to a Costco, I kind of think like, what part of my inventory is still unboxed? And I try to picture that inventory in one of the boxes that's in the corner of Costco, and then I usually take it back. I fold it up, put it in my car as I'm leaving with my food. Another place you can get really good boxes is behind stores like Five Below, which have an assortment of different kinds of you know, products. Or you can go behind places like Pottery Barn, which are cool. They're always unboxing crap in Pottery Barn, big and small. So you can find the biggest boxes there, the smallest boxes there, and it's typically already folded and all organized and perfectly ready for pickup for trash. So that's a pretty good place as well. So think about those kind of, you know, options. Of course, if you're dealing with USPS and shoes, the shoe box is amazing. You can go check it out. I think dimensions are 15.8.6. I think that's what it is. So 15.8.6, you know, priority. And you can get those free in quantities of 10 and 25 on USPS.com. I like that one a lot. That one I never run out of. Like that's definitely a staple box in my arsenal right now. James Ron, did I go see the Grand Prix in Austin? I did not. Bobby Moon says, I have not seen the formula, but check your selling account for Amazon Selling Coach pricing tab is what I do. Okay. I do the Amazon Selling Coach pricing tab. I definitely do that thing, or whatever that thing is in the middle where it gives you the pricing opportunities for X amount of things. I do that as well. Like I look at their suggestions. I tweak certain prices here and there when I can. But yeah, I don't know what the algorithm to get the buy box is. I really don't. Andrew Molina says, could you make a video on your Friday prep for Saturday, i.e. how you pick a listing and when there are not community sales going down? This is a really, really good suggestion. I will try to remember that for Friday. That's a really good suggestion. I've done one before in the past. I think it's just lost in my channel titles. It'd be really hard to find it. The Video Game Hunting channel says, I love the streams. Thanks for giving me inspiration and knowledge. You are welcome. You're totally welcome. Tom Sawyer says, everything will fight you every step of the way, every step in the world, and the system does not want you to pass. School doesn't want you to pass. Casinos don't want you to pass. ACT test don't want you to pass. We are all going to pass. We are going to pass. Cool. Yeah, I agree. Jesse Burr says the USPS ship box fits up to about a size 13, which is true. I have gotten up to a 14 in there, but it depends on the construction of the shoe. If it's something like a Nike Flying It Free, something that can be compressed real well, I would shove a 14 in that shoe box all day. But if it's like a size 13 Nike Air Pegasus that has a little bit more structure to it, then yeah, you would probably put a 13 or maybe even a 12, you know, as much as a 12. But you don't want to really smush a shoe too bad when you're in there, especially something that's leather that has a really nice shape to it. So you have to be real careful as the shoe sizes increase. That shoe box, you know, when I have a shoe box or the USPS priority shoe box, I stand it up, I build one side out, I stand it up, and I put 2 pieces of bubble wrap down the hatch. Like the very first thing that I do. And then I slide like a wingtip in, you know, one way, and I puzzle piece or Tetris the other wingtip the other way. But I put a a bubble wrap in between the two shoes so they don't rub up against each other. So that's really important. And then I cap off the box with 2 more sheets of bubble wrap, 2 more squares that are about 12 by 12. And that alone, if you shake it around, it doesn't shake very much. So I like doing that. But yeah, you can push the envelope a little bit for the most part. I think 13 or 14 is kind of like that cutoff where you don't want to be jamming things into that box, because when the customer opens up a box and they're like, hell yeah, like I spent 80 bucks or 70 bucks on this thing, blah, 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 and they open up the box and it's like these wedged up shoes. You know, that's not a good feeling to open up something and find that. That's not good. Even if you get positive reviews, like on the metrics, you might lose, right? So you have to understand that. You can still get a positive feedback, but the metrics you can suffer on, I believe, on eBay. And there's like 3 metrics, like it was described in its in condition with shipping and handling on time, or there's something else. There's another metric in there too. So you get rated on metrics. Okay. I've noticed that you resell larger items. This is from Richard Monroe. Okay, so I've noticed that you resell larger items. Do you normally measure the girth? Does the post office usually check in the order line? Like for really, really large things, I'm pretty much putting that in my antique booth. But for pretty large things, I am, you know, just putting it in a box, making sure that it doesn't exceed 50 pounds or so. And I don't usually get into something. Today I put something in a box that weighed 33 pounds today, right? Sold overnight for $160. It was a $5 pickup, nothing crazy. But yeah, and I think the shipping was like 27, so it wasn't too bad. And I padded the shit, you know what I'm saying? I padded it up a lot. It fit into a box that was like 19 by 12 by 12 maybe, right? It was an eBay box. And padded it all up and everything, but it weighed 30 something pounds. So I would consider that a pretty large item to me. It weighs a lot. But when it gets to really, really, really big things, I usually will move it locally or in my booth. And the things that come to my mind are snowboards, skis, you know, things that are just big and long. You know, things like bats that are pretty long or in that category, just get the little triangle looking like poster box. I guess that's what it's called, or maybe it's a bat box. I don't know, but USPS has it. Get things like that. Like, don't try to engineer your own stuff. Like, yeah, bats can be pretty profitable. Like, definitely, you know, check out the bat game if you get a chance. There's someone in the green room, I think his name is Hector, who is really, really, really killing it in the bat game, like all the time. So, anyways, Adrian Molina says, was it the juicer? Yes, it was the juicer that sold. James Ron says, have a great day, Bonafide and friends. All right, see you later, man. Like button smashed from Bobby Moons. Chris Urette saying, I get boxes from recycling bins at the student housing near my house. No shortage there. I cannot imagine that there would be a shortage. So, all right, I guess that's pretty much it, unless there's another question in here. But for the most part, I wanted to show you some of the cool finds. Like, here are some profitable finds that you can mess with, you know, for eBay or Amazon, and at least it'll pique your interest if you get around to a garage sale or a thrift store and you kind of see some of the, you know, things that I talked about, or if it even leads you to open up your phone and do further research to where maybe you find something profitable. At least I've done my job, right? So anyways, I guess that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching my video. I'll definitely be making a video tomorrow, and I will be also editing a vacation vlog that I did like way back in the day, like January or February of this year. I have amazing amounts of like footage that I haven't edited yet, and I'm going to do it. So anyways, I'll put a disclaimer at the very first part of that video when it comes out saying, hey, this is not like a thrifty video or anything where you're going to learn anything. It's just more like vacation, the importance of it. And one of the parts is I go to Breckenridge, and the other one, or Colorado, and the other vacation I go to Dominican Republic. So just kind of like seeing these two places from my eyes. I filmed it all. I may as well do it. So anyways, last question right here. Ruth Field, I have a vintage Bianchi light green, presumably road bike. Could be a Milano though. It could be a cruiser. Where do I sell it? I would tell you right now, if it's a Bianchi, okay, if it's a Bianchi vintage light green one, it's a road bike, you might want to put that on eBay. But for the most part, most of your stuff's going to probably be on Craigslist or a local market. So think about that. If you have, or it could be a Bianchi Grizzly, right, which is a really hard to find mountain bike, or a Super Grizzly. So if you have a Super Grizzly or one of the Bianchi road bikes, those probably, you might want to think maybe eBay. Consider somewhere between 150 to 190 bucks for shipping, right? I'm not kidding. don't do it yourself. Go to a bike shop and get that thing packed and shipped from a bike shop. But if you have a Bianchi Milano, which is just the women's cruiser, and they make a men's one, I think, too, that's more of like a Craigslist kind of thing. So anyways, I guess that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys on the next Bonafide Hustler Hangout. Should be tomorrow. Take it easy. Goodbye.